Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We are counting down until No Mercy coming up on the WWE Network live from here in Sacramento, California. I put up an early predictions video last week, actually on the steps of the Golden One Center here in Sacramento, California, that is going to be hosting the event. And as we draw closer to the event, honestly, I'm sort of surprised. The one match that has more people talking about anything else going on in WWE at this point that doesn't have to do with Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg and Survivor Series has to be Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. The one thing that has everybody talking is Dolph Ziggler leaving WWE? Is he really going to be retiring? Ric Flair was on his podcast talking, a little bit that he has said. Ric Flair has put over Dolph Ziggler from day one. When Ric Flair came back into WWE and he was looking for some sort of role, the role that he kept pitching to Vince and creative was he wanted to be Ziggler's manager. He wanted to be in Ziggler's corner. He wanted Ziggler to be the next Ric Flair. He wanted him to go on to be one of the greatest superstars there is in WWE because Ric Flair looks up to Dolph Ziggler that much. Instead, Flair got stuck with The Miz, and hopefully, you do not remember Miz locking on that figure four leg lock with Ric Flair in the corner. Was not a very memorable time in WWE. But I can honestly say about this match, I'm sort of surprised. I went back through the Stevie Breach archives only a year ago. Did I make a video about Dolph Ziggler and his contract was coming up with WWE and what was he going to do? At that point, Ziggler was starting to go out on Monday nights and Tuesday nights during Raw and SmackDown tapings, and he was booking his own comedy show, which is sort of like his sidestep away from wrestling, and people thought maybe he was trying to get into comedy full time, and he would actually walk away from wrestling and just say that he's been beaten up and bruised too much. He's gave too much to WWE, and they really haven't given anything back to him. I don't really know what to do with this match. Honestly, in my mind, I don't think Dolph Ziggler is leaving. But I don't know inside the mind of Dolph Ziggler. This guy, just like I said a second ago, every time they give this guy a little bit of a push, they take it right away. The guy loses 10 matches in a row after that point, and he's just down, where you never think he's ever going to get a chance. If you go back right before the brand split, Dolph Ziggler was going up against Baron Corbin in a feud. And I know that somebody has to put Baron Corbin over because he just came up from NXT. You want to make this guy look like he's a monster. Corbin wins the first match. Dolph Ziggler wins the second match because he kicks Corbin in the balls. And they go on to a third match, which I think Corbin won. Then all of a sudden you do the brand split. You're coming up on SummerSlam. Dean Ambrose needs a challenger. You pick the guy who just lost to the NXT rookie to give him a shot at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Why didn't you give it to Corbin, the guy who just beat him? Makes no sense, but you try to heat Ziggler up. Of course, he goes into SummerSlam. He loses. Comes out of that feud, says that he wants to be taken credible, and goes right after The Miz because he wants to be a champion. He wants the Intercontinental Championship. Loses that match. And now here we are. He gets a rematch again. And because Maurice was on the outside. And in order to get the shot, he's going to put the title up on the line. In my mind, Dolph Ziggler will never be as hot as he was when he cashed in the championship on Monday Night Raw the night after WrestleMania 29. When he cashed in on Del Rio and became the World Heavyweight Champion, so many people thought that Ziggler, who had been in the company since, I believe, 2009, it really got out there and really busted his ass no matter what they were asking him to do, whether he was fighting for the U.S. title, the Intercontinental title, no titles on the line. This guy bumped like it was the last bump that he was ever going to give. If you go back, I don't even know how to find it, but Ziggler took a bump one time for Brodus Clay on the ramp. He went head into the steel for no reason. I mean, this guy gives everything in the world. Of course, he suffered the concussion. They had to put the match at Extreme Rules, which was going to be the rematch. I think they strip him of the championship, and they had to do Christian versus Del Rio or something like that because Ziggler was going to be out for a while. So many times you think of them, think of like when Ziggler was on Team Cena. And it was the ultimate survival of the Survivor Series match. He pinned Seth Rollins because of Sting's debut they tried to make it look like he was going to be a big deal. Ziggler, who in the build-up to that Survivor Series match, we lost his Intercontinental Championship back on Raw to Luke Harper, gets a match at TLC, has the best match of the night at a ladder match, and becomes the Intercontinental Champion. And that reign was supposed to mean something to bring, just the pride back to being Intercontinental Champion. Didn't go nowhere with it. Over before we knew it. This guy has been stuck in ladder match after ladder match, Money in the Bank after Money in the Bank. Go out there and give the best you got, and really gets nothing back in return. Never really been in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship title hunt. I can remember last year on the build-up to WrestleMania, they did that match where it was Ziggler against Triple H. And I don't think anybody really thought that Ziggler was going to win that match, but it was a great match for Ziggler to go out there and give his best against Triple H, who's always going to get a good match against anybody. And maybe that would lead to something. Nothing. We all had dreams. Maybe Ziggler and the creative team would do something wacky where he pinned him and do a Jericho finish where he's the champion for a second and then take it away from him. But no, they didn't do it. So I don't know really what to think of this. People think that Ziggler's really walking away. I don't think there's a chance in hell he will. I know that Cody Rhodes took a lot of balls. He walked away. Now he's wrestling for PWG. He's wrestling for TNA. He's wrestling for Ring of Honor. He's going to Japan. He's doing the trip around the world. And some people think that WWE gave him a full release, sort of as respect to who his father was, Dusty Rhodes, knowing that, once he accomplishes these dreams and he wrestles around the world and does the things that he wants to do, wrestles a lot of guys, wrestles a lot of places that WWE's not able or not, they don't have a chance for him to do these things, then he'll come back and he'll finish career in WWE and be a part of that family. Because I think WWE needs the Rhodes, name. I think they need that brand. More than anything else. I don't know. They've already got a Dusty Rhodes DVD. They've already covered the Rhodes family on the Wrestling Families, but something's going to come up. On so many DVDs, whether it was the NWO DVD, Cody is just the right age, and he was involved in a wrestling family, and he was a wrestling mark. It's always great to hear his thoughts on what was going on during the Monday Night War, during the Attitude Era, because he gives an honest feeling. He was pissed when his dad joined the NWO. He was embarrassed, and he didn't want to go to school the next day. But I don't know. I don't see anything that comes out of this. Miz beating Ziggler. Ziggler retires. They've already said he can't come back under a mask. They've already covered the fact that he can't show up on Monday Night Raw. So there's no escape plan from this. So I don't see anywhere for Ziggler to go. Even if Miz and Maurice cheat and make Ziggler go away, how long he stays away and then comes back. It's not like he's hurt. Not like he is one of these part-time guys. So I'm going to bet it all on Ziggler. That's the only way I can see it at No Mercy.